Welcome to Life Mastery Decoded. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. I have been studying mind mastery and emotional management and its connection to spirituality for over 25 years. In this podcast, I help guide you out of your daily struggles in life in the areas of health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Life is hard, but your daily growth doesn't have to be. Join me 3 times a week as I lead you inward on a healing, creating, and connecting journey. Let's go get the nugget of inspiration. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you setting and achieving the things that you want. If you are not setting and achieving the things that you want, then it is my intention that in today's episode I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. We're going to talk about intentions, and the audience groans. I understand. Setting intentions is just like setting goals, and setting goals is just like setting New Year's resolutions. But I have found out something that is very different. And I really like this way of doing it because the sensation and the emotional state shifts quickly. So I want to talk about the appropriate way to set intentions with these simple tools and just ways to do it that bring about this emotional state. But also there's a little fun thing on the very end that I want to share with you. So hang out for the whole episode. So the first thing that you're going to do, of course, in this clarity space is to figure out what it is that you want in the first place. So let's say you want healing. Something is ailing you and you want your body to feel better. So in order to start with that, you're going to decide the clarity of which you want to do, what you want to heal. So your back, your knee, your heart, your neck, your shoulders, whatever your thing is, whatever the ailment is, okay? Then you're going to, in the quiet space, as you're starting to relax and as you're starting to go into this space, into this, the unknown, basically, the clear slate, where you're going to set the intention. And in that quiet space, you're going to ask yourself, what would it be like if I were healed? What's going to happen is your mind is going to go through your entire memory bank and your file system, your mental file system, and run through all of your experiences to pull together an image, a picture, a scene, a word that describes to you from your experience what healing would be like. So it's going to remind you of what healing would be like. Now, I am going to ask you something here. So, and I hate to use these examples all the time, but they make perfect sense. And because I was in the fitness industry for a really long time, I was a personal trainer and a boot camp instructor for years. And it's kind of an easy go-to, if you will. So I have clients or have had clients in the past that said, I want to lose weight, and we're talking about manifesting and we're talking about getting in alignment with what you want. And I say, so go into where you feel skinny or where you feel healthy or thin and fit. And this person goes, I've never felt that. Like, I don't know what that feels like. Or somebody who grew up with no money and say, okay, feel into what it feels like to be rich. And they're like, I don't know what it feels like to be rich. I've never been rich. I've never had money. I grew up poor. My family is poor. So what you're going to do is, if your mind can't create from your experiences the final thing that you're asking for, can't find healing, can't find a thin and fit body, can't find what it feels like to be abundant, then you have a little bit of work ahead of you. There's a couple of things that you can do. One, you can start to research from different resources, whether books, online, out in public, people who have the thing that you want, and start to get an idea of how they feel, what they think, how their behavior is, what their action is, and how they live their life, to start getting images and experiences into your own memory bank. So for example, I grew up with very little money. We were on food stamps. My mom was using a lot of free resources to supply and help us with Christmas. And I will say I had probably, even though a lot of my podcasts, I talk about different experiences with my mom growing up, I had a great childhood. I had a lot of freedom. I had a mom who I knew had my back. Now, the only thing that is probably my biggest complaint is that my mom was not always emotionally available to me growing up. But I think a lot of kids have that issue, right? Mine might have been a little bit more where I look at different families, but I wanted my mom to be there. I wanted her to come and find me and spend time with me. I wanted her to be available when I would go and seek her out. But she was very emotionally in her own stuff and was very anchored into survival emotions, which I just spoke about in yesterday's podcast, that when you get into those emotional states, it's really hard to be there for somebody else. So I totally get it. I totally understand it now. So that's probably my biggest complaint of childhood. But my mom did the absolute best she could. We lived in a great place. I went to a pretty good school. It could have been better. My relationships with teachers, as you've heard, if you've listened to my podcast, were not all that amazing. But growing up the way I did, if you were to ask me what it feels like to be rich when I'm 19 years old, I'm probably going to give you a response that's something like, rich people are snobby, they're snotty, they're selfish, they're assholes, they're I already said selfish, but they're bossy, they're bratty, right? Because my experience with people who had money back then was not very good. But then now as a 50-year-old, I have more experience and more to pull from my memory bank when I ask myself, what would it feel like to be rich? The first word that comes to mind is comfort. And then right after that is freedom. So the freedom to do what you want, fix the things that you need to, travel, give, share, and buy the things that you want to. And then, of course, the comfort is being in a home that's warm, that's big enough for your family, that has comfortable furniture and materials in it, and your car is comfortable, and your surroundings are comfortable. So when you ask yourself, if there's something in your goal setting, the thing that you want, and you ask yourself, what would it feel like if I had a thin and fit body? What would it feel like if I had the thing that I want? What would it feel like if I had money? What would it feel like? And if you don't know what it would feel like, then you have to go out and find it. That's part of your job. That's going to be part of the work, not your job. That's part of the work, is Google it, look at different things, get a feel for what people are like that have that thing. Then, once you have done a little bit of the work, what you're doing is you're creating a visual. Because if I say, what does it feel like to be cold? I'm immediately going to get a visual of somebody who's huddled, who's shivering, whose teeth are clattering or chattering, who maybe their eyes are squinted shut, they're huddled over, right? I immediately get an image. What is it like, or what would it feel like if somebody was hot? I immediately get an image, somebody who's sweating, whose body's kind of expanded to try to cool down. Maybe they're fanning themselves. They have very little clothes on. They're searching for water, right? So I immediately get an image. That's what you're wanting. So when you're setting your intention and you're like, I want to have an abundant lifestyle. I want to be thin and fit. I want to have an amazing family. I want to have a deeper connection with my partner. I want this ailment to go away. And you ask yourself, what would it be like if that ailment was gone? And then you don't get an image, then you have to go out and find the image. You have to go out and gain the knowledge and the experience so that therefore you have an image to pull from. Once you have the image to pull from, this is where the fun begins. You start to propel yourself emotionally with all of your senses in your mind's eye into that scene, into the image. You want the image to be live, 3D, and in person. Not a picture, not black and white, not a still frame. You want it to be as if you were experiencing it in the real world, as if somebody plucked me out of my house and put me in my dream house and put me in the body that I want, that feels amazing, that is at the weight that I want it to be, where everything is just so perfect. You want it to be like that, not an image of something, okay? Now it is within this image and this scene that you want to spend time being active. Now, I don't mean active like going for a run. I just mean exploring the scene. When I have the image in my head of the house that I want for my family and I walk in the door. It's always the same view, and I need to expand on this view. I need to expand on this scene, but I always walk in through our big, expansive front door, and it's just these ceramic tiles that go straight back through this kind of entryway, and then part of the living room, part of the kitchen, and then out into this big, huge backyard. And I have like grocery bags, and like we're entertaining, like some friends are coming over, the grill is lit, the boys are outside playing. Amy's making this big giant salad in this big stainless steel bowl, huge bowl, big, huge salad. She's got these big tossing, fork and spoon. And I come in and I put, groceries on this peninsula that's in our kitchen, and our big, huge kitchen with our big high ceilings and our coffered lighting system and our big pantry. And I just kind of, when I go through this scene, I'm exploring the atmosphere, the furniture. Like I can feel the cold tile under my feet. I can feel when I pull up and sit up to the peninsula in our kitchen, and I sit on the hardwood stool, and I put my elbows and rest my forearms on the tile or on the counter. I can feel all that with my senses. I can smell, the salad and the salad dressing and the fresh cut vegetables that she's making. I can hear her voice and the boys outside playing. I can hear the music that's playing through our house stereo. I can smell, I can taste, right? And so that's what you want to do. You want to immerse yourself in the scene completely. No matter what it is that you're wanting. If you're wanting your body to heal, immerse yourself in your body and feel your body healed. Feel your body without knee pain, without back pain, without pressure in your chest, without your headache, without the skin ailment, without whatever it is, whatever the thing is. You want your body, because your body is your subconscious mind, your programming, right? You want your body to feel as if it's there, to feel as if you literally drove to your house, got in, and you feel amazing. You got out of the car, you went in the house, you ate this beautiful dinner with your beautiful family, and your body feels amazing. You want your subconscious mind, your body, your physical body, to feel as if it's there, because it doesn't know the difference between what you're fabricating in your mind and what you are experiencing in the 3D world. You want that to happen. You want that complete shift to happen in your mind's eye. So that is the part of our imagination and our visual skills that are going to help you get there. Now, the obstacle is going to be overcoming what it is that you are intending to create so it feels as if it's already there. It feels complete. It's creating the sense of confidence in you. So when you open your eyes and you're back in your other body in the physical world, you are not bothered. It doesn't bother you because you know that you are creating this new future. You are projecting your mind out into this unknown future, this clean canvas. Rather than recreating your past every day, you are projecting your mind out onto this new canvas, and you are painting a new picture that you will soon experience. We create from the inside out, not the outside in. We go through life waiting for the things outside of us to shift and change our emotional state. I will wait for my partner to make me feel loved. I will wait for my boss to make me feel prosperous. I will wait for my kids to make me feel important. I will wait for my doctor or the medication or the surgery to make me feel healed. And what I'm saying is that is backwards, which is why we keep recreating the same scene over and over again. Future and future becomes the same. You have to feel different first before your future can change. Write that down. That is your nugget. You have to feel different first. You have to feel prosperous before money can come to you. You have to feel loved before you can create the relationship. You have to feel important before you can be the parent that you want to be. You have to feel whole and healthy before you can have the healing. Ask anybody who has had a serious ailment where the doctor has said you have 3 to 6 months to live, and they go into this meditative state and they just keep changing the imprint that is in their DNA through their mind and their visual faculties. They are changing and overcoming what the body wants to keep producing as the past experience being put back out into the future. You have to overcome the body. You have to overcome the drive that the body wants to get up and move through the physical world. So your job is to become the mind if you want to create a new future. That is the work. And it is in that deciding that, nope, I'm not picking up my phone. I'm sitting quietly and I'm relishing in this visual. Nope, I'm not going to check Facebook. Nope, I'm not going to get up and make my grocery list. Nope, I'm not going to get up and go check the mail right now. I'm going to do this because this is the work. Even though it looks like all I'm doing is sitting here doing nothing, you are painting on the new canvas rather than just pulling out an old canvas from behind you and throwing that out in front of you on the sidewalk of life. You just get up in the morning, your thoughts of your experience, your current experience, hit you like a Mack truck, and you are thrown back into your body, your experience, your financial situation, your relationship situation, your job, your everything, and you go, I guess I'm just going to pull these canvases out and go about my day. And I'm asking you, instead of pulling out the same old canvas, pull out a blank canvas and begin to paint your life in a new way, using new colors, new brush strokes, new vibrancy, and start to breathe new life. And then tomorrow, pull that canvas out again, the one that has the image of your new house, the one that has the painting of your new relationship and your new body and your new physicality. Paint that picture and pull that out every single day. That becomes the work. And that, making that decision every day to sit and to be with that visual and to be with those senses and to relish in that scene, that becomes your day-to-day. And when you start to do that on a day-to-day basis, that's when your life begins to shift and you start to see and feel things that are in more alignment with your internal state. Because remember, the outside world is a reflection of your inside world. And when you begin to use these tools on a day-to-day basis, going inward, feeling, bringing up the sense of gratitude and receiving, your outside world begins to shift and you start seeing synchronicities of your inner world reflecting out into your experience. Now, here's the one little thing that's this really fun experience, this fun thing to do that I said in the beginning, listen to this whole episode because I want to share this with you, is when you are in that state, when you are in that meditative state or that trance state, is to ask like, hey, you know what? I'm acting like the creator. I am starting to create my life differently. It would be great, God or source or universe, if you could show me a sign that I am on the right track, that my desire is coming to me. I would love that. Like that would give me the inspiration to keep going. That would give me the confidence that what it is that I'm doing inside my head is what I'm supposed to be doing to create a new future. And here's the thing, here's the little catch. You want to make sure that you are stating clearly, give me something that rocks my world, that I really know without a doubt that what I'm doing is creating this miraculous life. Like, don't make it something that is this usual thing that I see, because then it's usual. It's not going to catch my attention. Make it something that is so specific and so synchronistic that I know for 100% the divine is working with me, and what I'm doing is exactly what I need to be doing to create a new future. That, my friends, is when life starts getting really, really good and really fun, when you start seeing synchronicities around you. So that is your work for today. Set the intention, create the image, go in there and be with your visual. Spend as much time engaging with the scene that is in front of you. And that becomes a map to your future. That becomes you now taking a left turn instead of continuing to walk straight into your complaining life. You take a left and you start walking towards the sunshine. You start walking towards healing and deeper connections, and walking towards fun and freedom and an amazing life. Through that, you're going to then ask. You're going to ask for some guidance, some synchronicity. Say, hey, divine, are you working with me? Show me a sign, right? And overcome the obstacles of the body. And don't forget, the very beginning is to ask the question, what would it be like if I were blank? What would it be like if I was rich? What would it be like if I were completely healed? I look forward to hearing about your experience. Share with us, share with me, share with all of us to give a little inspiration, and ask your questions. Come to our Lady Rising group, ask your questions, and share with us your story and how we can help you. Thanks for listening. And if you made it to the end of this episode, then I'm really proud of you, because that tells me that you are dedicated to your own transformation. And if you're looking forward to other episodes, please send me a friend request on Facebook under Jen Mack and follow my page so you get notified as soon as another powerful episode drops. I try to get out 3 a week starting at 6 a.m. so you can start your day off right. And I try to focus on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 6 a.m. Also, if you're being inspired by my podcast, please share your opinion in a review so others can be inspired too. Keep going, growing, and transforming, and keep looking for those nuggets of inspiration. I'll see you next time.